Jon Impemba and James Grande.
What's going on, FA Nation? Jon Impemba here with James Grande. Welcome into the Fantasy Alarm NBA DFS Playbook Preview Show. It is Emirates Cup Day 2, Western Conference side of the tournament here. Wednesday slate starts at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Time, ends at 10 p.m. We got Phoenix versus OKC, San Antonio versus LA. Grande, we're sitting here watching the Knicks-Raptors game. That Miami-Orlando game kind of played out as advertised. The men you needed for the Orlando side pretty much came through for you. The key players on the Miami side performed. High-scoring game. All the points were there. Now we're seeing what's going to go on. Right now, it's an Ingram versus Brunson battle. Raptors-Knicks game.
Yeah. Currently in the second quarter, Knicks have figured out the Raptors quite a bit. The Raptors have not had a good second quarter to this point. And so it'll be interesting.
24 actual at 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. So
it's pretty good. Yep. Might go for 50. If we see him get to like 40 by halftime, maybe we're talking like Devin Booker back in 2017, 18, whatever 70, that was. 70 against the Celtics, or 60 for Embiid. Luka had 73 against the Hawks. Maybe we're talking about that if Brunson can keep it going. But speaking of Luka, we have him on the slate. We have SGA returning. No Wemby, unfortunately. That was a sad
he tried, right? He practiced.
He did. He's practiced a couple times. We might get Devin Booker back. He's been listed questionable too. So should be a pretty fun one. Obviously, anytime OKC is on a slate, John, one of the first things you have to do, you head over to Vegas. 14.5 point spread in that one, John. Yep. I don't think it matters in that regard if Devin Booker plays or not. I think it's probably going to just be 14.5. I guess we'll see. That's not me discrediting the Suns if chances, but that's just what the Thunder are.
They're a wagon. So
they are. That's what they are. They're a wagon. Yeah.
We'll start with the team they're playing. Obviously, we go position by position here, and we do appreciate all you guys tuning in with us. If you want to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, it's a free way to support us over here at Fantasy Alarm. Grande, we've never mentioned this. I actually found it out today. You've apparently known about it. You can hype shows now.
Yes.
So if you guys are watching on your mobile device, swipe left on the comment section, and there'll be a thing to hype the show. And apparently you can do this for free. You can add hype points, and adding hype points to the show boosts apparently us up the homepage.
Yep.
So again, this has apparently been a thing. I just learned about it today. Grande's been secretly hyping us up now for a couple of weeks, I guess. But if you guys,
since it started like months ago, I've just been hitting hype three times a week.
If you guys aren't already hyping us up while watching on mobile, again, swipe to the left on the comment section. You'll see a button to hype the show. Give us some hype points here. Let's see if we can boost our show, get even more viewers here. So all of that would be greatly appreciated. We are going to go team by team as we do with the small slate. Again, we'll start here with Phoenix. Again, they're 14.5 point dogs. They're relatively healthy outside of Booker, who may return. If Booker doesn't play, we kind of know what this rotation is going to look like, right? Yep. You're going to get Dylan Brooks in a 40% usage rate. You're going to get Colin Gillespie and Grayson Allen. Mark Williams looked really good the other night. You're going to have a lot of minutes out of Royce O'Neal, and then you kind of figure out the bench here. How long will these starters play? It is the cup, but if they're getting blown out, maybe they do go to the bench. Is there anybody on Phoenix that you would go towards here on this slate?
I mean, there's multiple directions you could go here. Obviously, it's very contingent on Devin Booker, because if Booker plays, everyone's probably too expensive. I don't know if there's a single play I would find appropriately priced if Devin Booker plays. Like, I think Gillespie's probably a little too expensive. I think Brooks is probably appropriately priced, but I think like Grayson Allen's too expensive if Booker's in. Mark Williams doubled the last time they played, and he only played 22 minutes. They did not close. They did not want him on the floor. Like it was OKC was just too athletic for him. So I think it's possible that happens again. I think there's a couple ways that you could play this. If you think the game blows out, then your Jordan Goodwin, Ryan Duns, Oso Ighodaro would probably be like 3 of the better plays here. We know Goodwin plays in blowouts. He's been getting a decent run regardless. Ighodaro has operated basically as, Nick Richards doesn't even play anymore. They just play Ighodaro. So I think that would be a route to go. So it's possible you go there. And then Dunn has been in the rotation as well. 4,200 is probably a little too expensive. That's if Booker plays. I think those guys are probably in play if Booker's out too. And then I think everyone else is a tournament play. Like if Booker's out, you could play Gillespie in a tournament, Brooks in a tournament, Allen in a tournament. I'm just not like overly confident in any of them. OKC's the number 1 defense in basketball. They're kind of expensive relative to the players they are. Not a lot of desire to play this team, truthfully.
Sure. And honestly, I don't disagree with you. I think it probably ends up being a way to be a little bit different. If on this type of slate, I don't imagine many people are going to go to Phoenix, but if they do just play their guys, you're getting them, in Booker's out, you're getting at least kind of like a mid-tier price. Because when you go to OKC here, SGA is 10-6, Jalen Williams, 8K, Chet, $7,800. You got to assume these guys are at least going to be playing 3 quarters in this game at the very least, and their value plays are nice. They're all really good, but if they're not going to get extended playing time, they become a bit more risky on this slate. Almost feels a little bit like a lot of ownership may just end up in San Antonio, LA, where it's expected to be a more competitive game and a game with a 237.5 total instead of risking the blowout factors. You absolutely can play SGA if you want to. There's nothing really stopping you there. You probably feel better about OKC if Booker was to suit up, just from a talent on talent standpoint. But is there a go-to Thunder play for you here?
I mean, you could always play any of these top 3 guys. Yeah. Like you said, it's just about the competitiveness of it. J-Dub started to look really good. Chet has looked really good. SGA is the priority, but I don't know if you need to go there. And I think like Luka's probably the better play overall. Again, if you're playing blowout theory, there's the AJ Mitchell portion of the program. There's Kenrich. It's tough to get to a lot of the wings, John, when they're healthy, because like Wiggins, Wallace, Dort, and Caruso all like cannibalize each other. I don't really have any strong desire to play any of those guys. So, as
we saw on the Tuesday slate, like people just straight up, 6 stacked, the first game, like 8 stacked the first game, and you had 1 player in the other game. It could be a spot where you do the same thing.
I think that's a very viable 2 games
chalky strategy.
Yeah, I think it's typically the correct strategy, because you're taking a 50-50 shot on which game is going to be better.
Mm-hmm.
The contrarian answer is just playing this first game, right?
Yeah.
And just like stacking it and just hoping that it hits. The correct answer and the chalky answer will be obviously just stacking Spurs Lakers and going. And honestly, I can tell you right now, the best the magic of this slate is the Spurs.
Yeah.
Undoubtedly. No Wemby. You still have Harper at 47. You still have Cornette at 48. You have Barnes at 49. You have 3 guys that are going to play 20-something plus minutes, all cheap, right?
I was going to say, would it surprise you if Dylan Harper was the highest rostered player on the slate tomorrow?
No, I think he's going to be.
Right? I mean,
he's going to be
26 minutes, 22 fantasy points in that game. We weren't sure kind of what it was going to look like with Stefan Castle back. Didn't really matter too much. Dylan Harper had a 28.5% usage rate in that game.
He was the best player on the floor and hit the game winner.
Yeah. Again, they have too many pieces, which is why they're rumored to be in on some of these huge trades, because between Vassell, Castle, Fox, Harper, like you can't play all four guards. Devin Vassell, and I've said this to you before, I think it'd be a legitimate number 2 on most teams. Like I think Devin Vassell is a very good player.
Yeah, that
is just kind of needing to go on a team where they can kind of let him be sort of that secondary scoring piece. Keldon's obviously the same thing. Like they're just putting Keldon on the bench and he comes off and he does his job, and yep. Harrison Barnes, if you read the Pick'em article that I wrote up, the Pelicans, they allow a ton of threes. We got another ceiling Harrison Barnes game in that game, so like in the right spot, he can go off any given night. De'Aaron Fox in that game played 30 minutes. Any concern for you there?
I mean, we've kind of talked about it with the Fox stuff. The minutes have been kind of down in general, right? You look back, his second game and his third game back, he played 37, 36. And it's almost like they thought like, ooh, maybe we shouldn't do that. Maybe we should like scale him back. So yeah, I think there's definite risk. And like, he's not going to be owned at all because Luka's on the other side.
Yeah. Castle came back, played 23. So
and started over Champagny.
He did. They went to that guard lineup like we kind of thought they would. With Vassell, Castle, Fox. His minutes are only going to go up. They Correct. Have to come at the expense somewhere.
Champagny.
Right.
So Keldon already took a big hit. He played 16 minutes. Champagny played 29.
Yeah.
And he was in the closing lineup over Castle. So, and Vassell didn't close that game. So, like, you can kind of.
I think it might just be whoever's hot
hand. Yeah, because they went Champagny and Harper, and they were their best 2 players in that game.
So I think you're going to be at risk basically on a night-to-night basis here until like eventually
Victor.
Yeah, and like
things stabilize.
It stabilizes, right? Like, I expect Dylan Harper to be a guy that gets 25 minutes a night for this team until
agreed.
So like I could see Keldon going down to 15 minutes. I could see Champagny getting knocked down to 20 minutes. Vassell being like a 25-minute a night guy, and Fox, Castle, Wemby are the guys that play. Barnes are the guys that play like 30, 30 plus. Like.
If Barnes is going to keep shooting the way he has this year, they're going to keep playing him. He played all 82 games last year. He's shooting 43% from beyond the arc this year. 31 minutes per game. If that player is going to keep showing up, and another spot, like he's never owned. He's never rostered. I would $4,900. Like I know he's not appealing. It's not like the sexy play. We've called him white bread Harrison Barnes for like so many years. I have. Yeah, I mean, dude, he's been it is what it is. He's been a boring player for like years.
Lakers are allowing the 6th most threes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8th most 3-pointers per game. The Thunder are allowing the 7th most 3-pointers per game to their opponent. So, believe it or not, teams can't get inside on them, so they're just chucking from 3 to keep pace.
Lakers 5th worst field goal percentage from 3 too, 38% allowed. So, which is,
this dude stands in the corner, stands on the wing, and just, they have these drivers, Castle and Fox and all them, and then they kick it. And
if you were to talk Spurs, how would you prioritize? Like, we're both on the same wavelength. Dylan Harper is going to be super popular, and also, like you said, like the usage is massive off the bench at 40. You don't get a $4,700 player with a 30% or approaching a 30% usage very often.
That was the number 2 overall pick.
That was also number 2 overall pick. That probably is number 1 in any other draft except Cooper Flagg's draft. Like,
right. And it'd be better than Cooper Flagg. We don't know.
Yeah, right. No, 100. No, for sure. It is pretty risky elsewhere, but it's an appealing team with their prices. Like, you could probably make a case for every player from Castle to even
Harper.
Harper. They went just when we thought
They play
Sohan. They play Olynyk over Sohan, and Sohan plays 4 minutes. So like that's even a scenario where it's like, oh no.
Yeah, I don't think I would get to any of those guys because there's a legitimate, like, if you're making 20 lineups, sure.
Yeah.
If I'm making like 3, I don't think I get to Sohan or Olynyk just because I don't want to eat a 0. Harper definitely in lineups, and yeah, I agree with you. You know, you could get to Fox. I mean, you could play him, but I bet that's a very contrarian play, much like Brunson was on this slate, on the Tuesday slate.
Yes, yes, and the only problem is, and we'll go to the Lakers now, that the Tuesday slate did not have Luka Doncic.
No, Luka's 12K.
And it didn't have anywhere near a Luka Doncic.
Yep.
And this is the problem when you have a slate like this. You have $5,400 left if you click Luka.
There's really nothing else on the Lakers that not saying you're not playing, but I'm saying like there's no cheap Lakers that you feel good about playing either. When LeBron, Reeves, Ayton, Luka are all healthy, $4,800 Rui, Laravia, Smart, like those guys will get minutes, but I'd rather take my chances with the Spurs value than those guys.
Yeah, I would have enjoyed Smart, Laravia under 4K because I think there would have been a better case for those guys. Jackson Hayes has played a pretty consistent role. The Lakers don't seemingly like to extend DeAndre Ayton if they don't have to. Like, if you look at the DeAndre Ayton minutes, it's like low 30s, high 20s, like every game.
But it's the cup. They care about the cup in LA.
They do. Obviously, they banners. They get banners.
So.
I would say there isn't much of a priority here, but like if you're gonna play Luka, like there has to be something else because there wasn't anything else other than Dylan Harper that we like talked about and we're like, yes, this is great.
5,500 for Harper, Luka.
In this iteration, you would have to play Harrison Barnes.
You probably play Cornette.
And you play Cornette. I was going to say you're playing 3 Spurs minimum. You're probably...
Well, actually, would you play Jalen Williams at all?
I mean, they just don't have to do the double big thing.
Okay.
You know, they have Caruso and Dort and everyone, basically everyone back.
I was saying like his minutes have been pretty consistent, and he's been actually like a crazy good fantasy point per minute guy.
He's not a bad play. Honestly, the answer for cheap options is probably Dort or Caruso if that game's close, right? Because we know what Caruso, like Dort's going to start.
Yep.
And he's going to play 30 minutes in a competitive game. And we've seen this throughout the history, or at least since last year when they signed Hartenstein. Whether they started Hartenstein or not, in a close competitive game, Hartenstein was not safe to start the second half. It was
right.
Alex
just slide Chet over or something like that.
We can go back in the history of the underdog notifications where it says Alex Caruso starting second half ahead of Isaiah Hartenstein. It had to be like 20 times last year. Opening night this year, they did that with Caruso in that double overtime game.
Yeah.
So I think one of those OKC, I know I said they cannibalize each other, but at least in a competitive game, like Dort and Caruso are sub 4K, you'd get one of them probably to be optimal.
I mean, dude, we're still only at 6K a play, and that's still like nothing. Like
play Dort at $3,900. He's a shooting. Yeah, play him at shooting guard because then that maybe opens up some
65,
things.
small forward utility.
I mean, 65 is probably Dylan Brooks, unless we wanted to go a different direction. We could go like Chet at forward, or
I mean, yeah, I feel like getting. Would you rather? I think I'd rather get to Reeves.
and just go Reeves and Luca.
Yeah. Do you think that's? I mean, outside of this game, obviously, like he's been able to play with Luca just fine.
Yeah, and LeBron. I mean, LeBron scored the final whatever points in that last
Yeah,
game, like where he
LeBron.
just like looked like the best player on the floor.
Right, because then you could still get 48. Play Goodwin, like just assume blowout, assume 20 minutes.
Do you get Reeves, Goodwin? Yeah, we don't, and we'll back
or you could
out
go
here.
to you could play Caruso, you could play a LaRavia or whatever like that if you wanted to. Like you could.
Yeah, and if you played one of the OKC guys there, like if you played Chet or Jalen, you'd have a little more money as well.
Yep. Yeah, Jalen.
He's a small forward.
Yeah. So get rid of Goodwin. Go Jalen. 52. Keldon. Champagny.
It would. I mean, it's like you said, it's probably the hot hand. It's.
I mean, Champagny at least played the minutes. So
it's probably Champagny. Probably,
Yeah. But if they give Castle more minutes, like it's very live to not be. But
I know, no, you're absolutely right. It's not.
So yeah, you could go this way, 100%. Like I said, the alternative was playing like Reeves or Luca, or Reeves or LeBron, basically.
Yep.
To spend up for, and then you're getting down to some cheap plays down here. Again, I think Goodwin would be the punt play there, just because the minutes have been relatively consistent. He does shoot, he doesn't hit all his shots, so like there's that. But
and he plays in blowout. That's the key, and that's the key too. Like he also will play in a blowout.
Right. If Brooks is out, he has a role, and then he has blowout.
Booker.
If Booker's out, yeah. So, all right, we built a whole lineup, but just some examples for you guys to kind of figure out where you want to go with it. We again appreciate all the support. Hit that like, share, subscribe. Grande, yes, sir.
I don't believe we will be live tomorrow unless you
TBD.
are TBD on the live show for tomorrow. I know I will. I just saw a very funny quote from Desmond Bain. They asked him how he feels about advancing to the NBA Cup, and he said, "Well, he just lost $35,000. He had to get it back somehow." After there's a Desmond Bain rage bait compilation, John, on Twitter, which is hilarious. Throughout the years, Desmond Bain just literally rage baiting people. The muscle hamster lives on. That's all I have to say. Yeah. But yeah, TBD on the live show for Wednesday.
Yep. All right, guys. Appreciate you again tuning in, and we'll catch you for maybe for the live. If not, we'll have the Thursday preview show for you guys Wednesday night. We'll see you then.